And you guys are live.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We have a quorum present, so at this time, we are calling the City of Akron Public Art Commission meeting to order. So we will move to the agenda. We have special guests today to talk about a Public Art Commission application, David and Megan. So I will invite y'all first to talk a little bit about the project that you submitted.
Okay, yeah, just sort of high level, the highlights.
Yeah, highlights would be great. And Megan, if you wanted to talk at all about being the artist, that would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'll start off by thanking you all for going through this. Summer let us know that it's something that the city's doing, and it sounds it's a good thing overall. So happy to go through it with you all. But as you know, my dad passed last year, and the city has been gracious enough to allow their city park on the corner of North Highland and Edgerton to be renamed after my dad. So it'll be the Rich Swarsky Memorial Park. And it's going to have a couple improvements with picnic tables and benches. And of course, we thought there would be no better artist to grace the space other than the lovely Megan Shane. And so, we started talking with her and, bouncing around ideas and how can this reflect the family and my dad's values for, art and conservation, environmentalism and stuff. So she started cooking up some ideas. So she's got some cool designs going, and I can let her take it from there. If you want, Megan, if you want to talk about, I don't know, just like what it is and what you're dreaming up, designing and building.
Okay, hello. My name is Megan Shane, and I'm a local metal sculptor here. It is an honor to be commissioned to create a public work for a beautiful space and for a beautiful man. So in that spirit, creating public art is it's a beautiful thing, and I'm hoping to incorporate the lasting powers of steel with some imagery that really reflects on the family and the community and inspired by nature overall. The piece is going to be a three-dimensional piece, and it should stand about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. It's going to be about 30 inches in diameter. I don't know if there's a sketch or something Dave could show you at the moment, but I'm delighted to share it with you all.
Yeah, thank you so much. There was a sketch that was sent as part of the application. So thank you so much for explaining a little bit more in detail. I'm really excited about this project, especially to have a local artist, Megan, making the sculpture. I think it makes it that more meaningful. So I'd like to open it up to the rest of the commission if y'all have any comments or questions at this time.
Megan, could you explain more about like the design? Because I saw the sketch, but I'm wondering, like, is it plants or what is the design exactly?
The design is going to be 2 large oak trees that are intertwined in their roots and then as well as in their branches. And it's going to, it's kind of like 2 hemispheres that will be created into a pod shape, but there will be a garden that grows up from the underneath them. I'm not sure what else to explain.
No, that's what I was wondering, because I saw green, I think, and I didn't know if that was plant or part of the design, but yeah, that sounds great.
Right, yeah, it's trees with plants flowering up within them. Yeah, and then we're hoping to have a continued garden that will grow around it, so it'll be framed by natural greenery and beauty.
Cool.
Hey, David, what's the maintenance plan for this? I didn't see that in the
in the file, maybe I missed it, but just ongoing, what's going to be the maintenance plan?
Yeah, it's in there. But yeah, it's basically what anything that happens, well, it's steel, so and not much will happen. But if there is any damages or anything, myself and my family will take care of any costs. So the city won't have any costs. And actually, I'll add in the city. I am coordinating with John Malish and the Parks Department. They're gonna pour a concrete slab, like just a small one. I don't know, it could be a foot and a half by 2 feet or something, that just so the sculpture will be bolted into that concrete pad, so shouldn't go anywhere. And the family will pay for any costs maintenance wise.
Also, as far as the finishing goes, I'm going to have it nickel plated, so it will appear chrome, so it won't be rusty or unsightly or unsafe.
And Megan, if there was any vandalism to occur, would you be the one to make those repairs?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I do have one last question, and that doesn't keep the rest of the commission from asking questions, but I was wondering if, as part of the description, I know that you're planning a memorial event, or in some of your marketing language, if you could include that the Akron Public Art Commission approved of this project. We're trying to make the Akron Public Art Commission more of a resource to the community, and so that more members of the community are aware of us. So something around the lines of this project has been approved by the Akron Public Art Commission, I think would be a great addition, and is definitely just an optional, but I did want to ask about that today.
Sure. Yeah, I don't see any harm in that. Yeah, that's totally doable.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or feedback, comments? All right.
Will the same be, I have one question. Will the same be for the flowers and stuff? Will there be maintenance and upkeep with that, or is that the city part?
The natural, the plants?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking care of that ourselves, yeah, as a family. And the neighbors right around the park already take care of a community garden, and we've been talking with them about collaborating on future things too. So yeah, it's all in the community.
All right, so I'm just leaving space if anyone else wants to make any questions or feedback. All right, I would like to move to a motion. Do I have a motion to approve the Rich Swarsky Memorial Park statue?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
All members opposed? All right, the project has been approved. And so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Thank you so much, David and Megan, for being here today and talking it through.
Of course, thank you all. Very excited.
Thank you. All right.
Please also feel free to share any information with us. We'd love to attend any kind of public events that will be a part of this as well.
Yeah, sure. I can send a link to Summer.
Great, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's just on Facebook now. But I think the city, we've been talking back and forth with Gert Wilms about possibly putting some joint press release together with the city of Akron as well. So yeah, forthcoming.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
you're welcome to leave, or if you would like to stay, you're also welcome to stay.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Yes.
All right, the next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from March 9th. Those minutes have been provided in advance for everyone's review. Is there any corrections or feedback to discuss at this time? All right, then I will go ahead and move to motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All right, thank you. Minutes have been approved. Moving on to our next agenda item. Our last meeting, we had talked about possible public art project ideas and public art conservation now that we have established our budget. Since then, we've talked about the importance of a public art inventory. So we were going to have Jill do a presentation about a project that she has been a part of before to collect an inventory of the public art around Akron. And we do have a great start from an intern that helped us out last year to start that process. But we've recognized the importance of creating something that is a little bit more substantial in order to make recommendations about where we need to place public art next. So Jill actually had a family emergency arise today, so she is not available to be at this meeting. So I would like to talk with y'all about your thoughts about the public art inventory, if there's anything that we can do at this meeting, and then if not, we might have to hold off on to the next meeting to talk about that a little bit more.
So I just thought maybe there was something from the last meeting, but I know we had the intern do the initial list and things of that sort, but I'm not confident that that's all of it or what have you. So I just wonder if there's other ways that we can engage, whether it's the city council or whatever, to try to get some additional people to maybe help by each ward to see what exists, things of that sort, maybe compare it up against what the intern did. I don't know. And then plus getting some involvement from each of the wards may also help to create the awareness of the commission itself, since they're participating in a process. So
that sounds like a great idea. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, go Dar. Where are you at?
I was just saying that that was the point of what Jill wanted to talk more, to go more in depth with collecting data on all the public art and add to, in the email she was talking about adding to what we already have, because it wasn't enough to really make valid decisions where to put artwork at, just to make sure everybody is covered. But I do like, John, that you're saying to get the wards involved to know what's going on and to push the commission even further out too. Just to answer that first question.
I will say that's not all the.
I'm sorry, can I go?
Yeah, go.
I wanted to add to that too, because I think we had a discussion about inviting our council people to one of our meetings to talk about what's needed in their community, what type of art is needed in their community. So I'm definitely open for that opportunity for each of the wards to come speak for a few minutes about, their neighborhood. Also too, they actually have ward meetings. So the public comes out to these meetings to talk about their concerns or any questions or anything that they may have. So maybe that can be a topic at one of their ward meetings. And then once we invite them, they can come and talk to us about, hey, this is what our community is saying that, this is what they would like in their, in their community.
Katie, did you have any input? I thought I saw you on mute, sorry.
Oh, I did not. I mean, I agree that I think somehow connecting with the city councilors and better understanding what we're doing and participating in the inventory is important.
All right, so it seems like we're all in agreement about the need for a more comprehensive public art inventory. And I think our next meetings could definitely be dedicated to discussing that more, and especially getting Jill's feedback on what that process was that she was a part of as well, before we make any recommendations for a public art project or a restoration project as well. Does that sound like what everyone is in agreement with? Great. Cool. I wanted to go back then. I kind of skipped over our commissioners part of the agenda before bringing in Mark Greer to talk about ways we can collaborate with him. As far as commissioners on the agenda, we do still have a vice chair role position open. So if you could let me know before our next meeting in May, that would be appreciated if you're interested in the role. And then also we have term dates coming up for some of our commission members. Their term date will end in August. So we've asked that all of the commissioners whose term expirations are coming up, that you let Summer and I know by our next commission meeting in May. So going back to the agenda of public art inventory, we'll put on the agenda for next meeting that we'll hear more from Jill about the process that she's been involved with and other ways of identifying how to work with our council and ward members. But Mark, I would like to invite you to the meeting and see if there's any recommendations from you about how to gather public art inventory, or if you've identified any kind of strengths in your community or communications. We had talked about at our last meeting, connecting with you as part of the Greater Streets Initiative, and getting your feedback on what you've identified in your community and seeing ways that we could connect as well. So was there any feedback or comments or questions from the rest of the commission that you would like to bring up at this time for Mark?
Well, I guess it might be helpful if I just kind of chime in first and just say, so we have 13 Great Streets districts around Akron. We started last year in commissioning some public art projects. So far, all of those have been on private land, but we are specifically looking especially at our city parks that fall within our Great Streets as places for potential public art. I know, for example, North Hill, which is one of our districts, we were looking at Temple Square Park. We had originally applied for a Bloomberg asphalt art grant back in, I believe, 2019, Katie. It sounds like a long time ago. Even though we were not successful on that grant, that was still a location we were looking at. We are currently in process of a couple of Akron Parks challenges in Kerr Park, which is in Maple Valley, at Jewett Park in Middlebury. So we had looked at those parts at being great potential sites as well. I know one of the things I try to do is in my time in these districts and these neighborhoods, I kind of try and look at those areas that don't have a lot of public art right now. And so that has put places on our list like North Hill, South Arlington, which we just added at the end of last year. We're planning on doing some park renovations at both Talbot Whitney Park and also at Homestead Park, which are a couple of blocks off of the South Arlington corridor. So we were definitely interested in the possibility of having some public art there at one or possibly both of those parks. As you probably all know, we're planning on doing a big park renovation at Joy Park as well. So that's another opportunity. Sherbondi Hill, formerly known as Lane Wooster, is another area where we don't have much public art at all now. So for me, I try and focus on those communities / wards where we don't see a lot of examples of public art. We do have several projects in the works now, but again, those are on private property, private land.
Are any of those, in summary, you might be able to answer this question too. Are all of those parks that you had mentioned, like Kerr Park, North Jewett Park, those are city parks as in city owned? Okay.
Yeah.
So those could be possible locations that we could look at as well.
Yeah. We also do have another location. So in our West Hill district, which is on West Market Street between Rhodes and Rand, we are looking to do another Great Streets community park. We completed one recently on Copley Road at the corner of Copley and Ritchie Avenue. And this one, which would be on West Market, that's a city-owned vacant lot. And there would certainly be an opportunity there as well for public art.
And you said that was at
So it's
Rand and, I'm sorry.
So the park would be specifically at so in between Oakwood and Balch Street, there is a vacant lot between Chin's Chinese Food and the Bajo convenience store. So we are looking to, it hasn't been announced yet, but we're looking to start community work and planning on a possible park site there. Actually, the background behind me is a picture of our park that's on Copley Road. So looking to do something kind of in that same mold there in West Hill. And that's something that could certainly continue on in a number of our other areas going forward. So looking at a possible partnership of opportunities, that's definitely something I had in mind as an option.
Thank you for providing all of that information. That's really helpful to start thinking about ways that we can collaborate as partners. And then also with your great knowledge of what areas are needing public art too. Was there any questions or feedback from the rest of the commission that you would like to put out there for Mark at this time? Or any general statements? Oh, sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I think I'm good. It's nice to have this this information, Mark. So thank you very much. And I think that's exactly what we need, is just this ongoing updates of where things are with these other citywide projects. And I know that's capacity and timing and fund related, finance related as well, but it would just be interesting to see where, where the priorities lay with the city, so that we can maybe align our priorities as well if we have the opportunity to influence or support.
And I'm
Yeah.
certainly to help with, updating any list that we compile. And again, letting all of you know about the projects and the specific areas that we are focusing on. I know that we are planning on doing a lot of park renovations in the next 1 to 5 years. So for me, our public parks, that's kind of an easy win. And especially many of the parks that we're focusing on initially are set in neighborhoods and communities that have not seen much public art at all.
Awesome. We would love to stay in conversation and continue to collaborate and dreamstorm about possibilities that could come up. I definitely think at this time we still are leaning towards getting a full comprehensive public art inventory before making any decisions, but I think it's really important that we started this process of communication and getting ideas out there and just starting the process in general of what could happen too. But would love to stay in communication with you, Mark, about possible future projects that we could take on together.
Certainly.
Was there anything else from the rest of the commission? If there's any feedback for Mark or anything about what I just said before I let Mark go.
I will say, Mark, very good job. My neighborhood is Copley Road area, West Side, and it's beautiful. Just the few properties that has the paintings and stuff on the wall, so it's really making a difference. Even the decor during Christmas time was great.
Well, thank you. And it's like, we were happy to partner with some of the community organizations like the Maple Valley Merchants Association, who helped with putting up all of the holiday decorations as well. So certainly happy that it's had a positive impact on the corridor.
And Mark, if as we continue to develop our public art inventory, I would love to connect with you again, especially when we develop that call and communication with ward members and council members, and have you as a colleague and ally in sharing that information and communicating it with any partners with Greater Streets. And yeah, definitely looking forward to working with you more.
Certainly. And it's like, I will share, it's like a lot of the council members do reach out to us. Typically a lot of those requests are on more private land and property, but certainly we'll be happy to coordinate with the commission in those public opportunities.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. You're more than welcome to stay on for the rest of the commission meeting, but definitely welcome to leave if you have other matters to attend to as well. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you all.
All right, and then next on the agenda, we have time to speak about marketing ideas. So we've identified in our last couple of meetings that there is a need for us to really start to promote the Akron Public Art Commission's activities and make people more aware that we're here. So yeah, I would love to open it up to the rest of the commission. If you have ideas around marketing, I certainly do, but I don't want to monopolize the conversation.
I'm wondering if there's a way that, like, since we are a public art commission, if we could do some kind of like, not expensive, but some kind of installation like throughout the city. Maybe it's like a sign or something where it's encouraging people to imagine public art and where it could go. I don't have like a specific idea for that, but I just think like typical social media or flyers is not really the way that we'll get to raise awareness about us. But I'm wondering, like, you know, in different parks or vacant city lots, if there's a sign that's like, what would you want to see here? Or like that has a QR code or a hashtag or something like that. Cause I, besides the, you know, publishing that we are here with applications open, I think there kind of needs to be a creative intervention in terms of raising awareness.
That's a good idea, Kate. Even to the extent of if we are kind of starting around an investigation of a list and more thought to where everything is at, even with like the QR code in the neighborhoods that may not have large amounts of work, like what Mark Greer said, like that can be that QR code to ask those questions as those in those neighborhoods. What would you like to see in your space? But that does seem like a good idea to kind of maybe make a little thing in the neighborhood, and then you can scan it and have discussions and kind of do a survey in that way, and then it's visually seen. I think that's a good idea. And then still circle around that we're not trying to compile the list. What do you see right now, or what's going on, what you want to see, those type of questions to help compile the list as well from actual people that stay in these neighborhoods.
So are we trying to garner feedback as well as get the word out that we exist? Because it's two different things.
Yeah, the reason why I brought it up was to promote our existence and I guess raise our awareness.
We can kill two birds with one stone, just to know we still moving in that direction as well. It wouldn't hurt to get feedback and kind of get people involved, which is still marketing and branding, when people answer questions and kind of have a conversation going along with whatever visuals and promotion that you're doing.
So I kind of go back to the ward meetings, things of that sort, of going out there, making a presentation, making everybody, and then to Dora's point, asking them what they like to see, giving them, you know, an email address to be able to provide that information, that type of thing. I guess I also make sure that everybody at City Hall knows that we exist, and what the function is, so that when they are engaging on projects or working on projects that somehow stumble into public art or what have you, then they're at least aware of where to direct people. Because I think outside of that, it's just really hard because a lot of people just don't think of it in that way or whatever.
I want to say something real
to the
quick.
website also.
Can I say something real quick? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say a quick way to get the word out there, if we're allowed, is, you know, Sarah White has Akron Buzz, and she's always looking for people to interview, talk about like local things that's going on in the community. I'm sure Sarah White would love the opportunity for us, a few of us, to go on there and talk about the commission. They air it, well, they don't air it. They shoot it Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. She's always looking for people to come, come and speak about what's going on in Akron. Maybe if we're interested, like I said, a few of us can go in there and talk about it.
Do you have a contact for her?
Yeah, I will send you, when I get home, I'll send you her information.
Sounds good.
And she just need a logo. I mean, if we have a logo or a website, something. So once they shoot it, it usually comes out within a couple hours. And she's getting at least a thousand reach. I mean, at least. But it's on YouTube. It's on social media. It's on her Facebook, Akron Buzz Facebook page, our Facebook page.
What's it called again?
I mean, we can spread this thing.
Akron Buzz.
Akron Buzz. B-U-Z-Z. Akron Buzz.
And her name is Sharon, right?
Sarah
White.
Oh, okay.
So as far as a logo and things like that, we won't have that until like third quarter.
If we don't have it, we have a website or something.
Yeah, we do have a website. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, she'll put it on the air. Like, for more information, here's the website. And like I said, they have a YouTube page, so people can always go back to it. So I think that'd be a great idea if we had a few of us go on there and talk about it.
Okay.
Awesome. In addition to all of those meetings or suggestions, I had been thinking about us doing a press release just to announce that we've been working actively, approving and sorry, I am at a loss for words right now. Looking at submissions and approving those, and some of those projects that were submitted have turned into public art, such as the Kenmore Boulevard mural. And that was the first one that we approved. So doing kind of like an anniversary type of press release, just announcing all of our accomplishments and what that has resulted in. And of course, the Sojourner Truth application that we reviewed back in December has gotten a lot of marketing and attention, a part of that as well. So tying that in to it. And I think Dara's recommendation of gathering feedback could also be tied into that press release, announcing all of these great things that we've been doing. And then also at the end, making a request about what would you like to see, or some of those questions that Dara brought up would be kind of a great way to also start to market ourselves besides what we also talked about.
Quick question. On the website, would you guys like a short questionnaire? Like if someone goes to the website to be able to maybe ask a few questions or answer a few questions that you guys may come up with, such as, where do you live?
Yeah.
Is there a location, you would like artwork? Where would you like to see artwork? If you guys can give me maybe 3 or 4 questions, I can see if I can have that uploaded onto the website. That way, when people are going, that will, they'll be able to answer those questions for me.
I like that idea of asking for a location, and if there's any spaces that they recognize that need public art, but especially since I think the location aspect is important, just because I think we would want to get feedback from our Akron residents in that process.
So I think that all of that is fine. We just have to be prepared that just because someone puts in a request or submits an idea, does that mean that we automatically make it happen? So there probably needs to be some sort of sentence that says, we welcome your feedback or your ideas. But I caution a little, I guess I really want to make sure that this is the right time for that to happen versus us just getting the word out that we exist. Not that I'm opposed to having feedback, it's just that you always have to be prepared to do something with that feedback. And if you don't, then people go, why did I do that? And then now they've got a bad taste in their mouth. So sometimes you got to look at maybe not asking for it until we're 100% ready or we have everything in place that we can respond to it. So like, in other words, if our first initiative is to clean up the existing, be aware of the existing public artwork, and then determine what needs to be addressed, removed, cleaned up, or what have you. I think it's more about giving updates of what we're accomplishing. But I think we just got to be a little bit careful on like opening it entirely up for public feedback. The feedback like Mark just provided is a little different, like, hey, this is happening, because he's already well aware of the internal processes. But I'd be concerned that we get an entire neighborhood group, almost like with David and Megan's project. Like if the entire neighborhood came and said, well, we want, we're going to do this or what have you, we have to be prepared. Now, if they have funding or if we can direct them to our process, then that's different. But I actually think that's really where the opportunity lies, is to make people aware of, hey, there's a process out there that you just can't put public art wherever you so choose. And we welcome your projects, but know that, here's the process in which we can direct them on the website. Does that make sense? It's been a long day. Okay.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And I think that's important for us to consider, is that when you do ask for feedback, then people are going to be more likely to want to see a result from that feedback.
Or I don't want them to assume that the Public Art Commission is actually a body that goes around and puts public art everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
Well, can
And that's
we
why that
even with-
internal, educating everybody internally at the city
Uh-huh.
is what's really important, or maybe educating constituents through ward meetings is what's important.
Yeah, but it is a space of just relax and have a space of just community and fun. And even you just answered your question, then that is also a tagline or a disclaimer. If you have a good project
Right.
idea, go to such and such and do a submittable, blah, blah, blah. But we just want to hear what you think. Nothing serious. No, we're not erecting every project, but it's still steps in doing those projects, but something to create a banter or a community buy-in to that there is something in place for you as a community to see more beautiful artwork around every area of Akron.
Yeah, I agree with
That
that. I
was-
think there is a balance of like great accountability, and we can't make any promises, but I also think we need to inspire, because if people don't know who we are, what they do, then they may not know that they can try to put public art in these spaces. So I would like to see, I like the idea of going to ward meetings and doing some kind of like informing, but also like maybe an interactive thing where people could more like understand more tangibly what we're doing. Because I think, we are promoting the arts. So like just doing a talk or whatever might not be enough for the concept to be understood with community members.
So as long as we have the language down, I think that's fine.
I'm happy to start working on a press release and then get y'all's feedback on any additional information that we might want to put out there too, and make sure that we have the language together for that. Does that sound like a good first start? Or first step, I mean? All right. Sorry, were you gonna say something, Summer?
No, I was just nodding my head saying that's a good start.
Cool, thank you. All right, so next item on the agenda is reading of public comments. At this time, there are no public comments. So we can move on to adjourning the meeting unless there's anything else that we want to talk about before that.
Did you have a chance to send the email regarding the stipends?
No, I haven't. Would you like to use this time to tell everyone?
Sure. So we will be sending you out all W-9s. We were able to get the city to provide a stipend as of June 1st for $50 a month for the Public Art Commission. So for all of you. So it'll be $50 a month for being a commission member. So once we send out the W-9s to you all, if you could fill them out and then just send them to me individual, because it will have some of your information on it. I can get that all processed. Maybe if we can get it back by like the end of next week, that would be great, because it does take a process of getting everything into our system. And I don't want to wait until June and then you guys won't receive it until July or August. So I'm trying to be proactive.
Will this come out of the commission budget?
It will not.
Okay.
So Summer and Kat, great job with that. That's
Thank you,
really a
Summer.
lot about that. That's Summer. That's really a lot about equity, right? So that's phenomenal work with that. So logistically, I will be gone the next 2 weeks. So if you can send that over to me, I can have it back to you by Friday end of the day.
Yeah.
Keep you on track. But just so you know, I'll be out for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. I'll try to send them out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
That's okay.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your work, Summer, to get that. I know that's a huge help to everyone's time and committing to doing the work of the Akron Public Art Commission. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You are all valued, and just trying to get this up and running and for the Public Art Commission to be known within the community. I'm excited, to see great things happen with you all. So let's do it.
All right. If there's nothing else, I will move to motion that we adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All members opposed? All right. Thank you so much. Meeting is adjourned. We will meet next on Wednesday, May 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll continue to talk about developing a public art inventory and hopefully have a presentation by Jill at that point. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.
Great. Thank you.